If you guys are watching this video, then congratulations, you survived the end of the world. Now back to Vanguard.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of VG Circle. I am your host, Amcam, and these are almost all the members of the VG Caster group.
We're missing TB, tuberculosis.
Yep, we're missing No, we have tuberculosis.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you.
We're missing Aya and Dakari.
Dakari's behind the camera.
Yeah, he's been promoted to director because of his stubble.
Wow.
So we actually have a pretty big episode for you guys today. We're talking about some of the most important things that have come up in the last month or so. Start off with one of the biggest events on the Vanguard calendar this year, Japanese and English World Championships. We have here with us our Australian representative for Japanese World Championships, Waltzer.
Hello.
Care to share with us exactly what happened in Japan?
A lot. It was damn awesome, is all I can say. Just quickly want to give a shout out to all the people I met there. Kanotaku, Brendan Smith, you guys are awesome. Especially the American distributors. Those guys were really fun to talk to for 3 hours on Saturday night.
Much love from Australia, American distributors.
And I would like to say, if you were impressed with his chopstick skills, we were training him.
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
It was a VG Circle initiative to teach him how to use chopsticks.
I really screwed up a few times.
It's good.
Yeah. We had to wait. We took him to a Chinese restaurant and threatened to leave him there until he started using it.
I eventually succeeded.
He's now level 3.
He's now level 3. Only like 200 more restaurants to go to before he reaches level 4.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah. How were the games?
The games were all really high level. Like the opponents were all very skilled. I was holding out fairly well all the games where I didn't misgrade. Problem is I missed grade 1 in one game, missed grade 3 in another game, and kind of died very quickly because of it. It's not very good when you look at your opening hand and go, 2 Santon, 3 Coco. Person next to you just looks and goes, bah, ha ha ha. That's not a vote of confidence.
So, yeah, that is
Punch that kid.
that is the nature of the Coco deck.
Yeah.
You don't get to grade 3, this stuff doesn't really help.
And just for our viewers, what was the most surprising thing that you experienced within the tournament, the championships?
Probably how easily I was holding off all the people playing dope. Like 2 games, I was just holding them off. I'm at 3 damage, they're at 6, and I just left it there. The whole game, just 3 damage, didn't take any more. Except for that one guy, I challenged 2 triggers to hit, and he got them exactly then.
Yeah, I think that, I guess, how many dope decks did you end up facing in Japan?
There were 3 Dotes, 1 MLB, and 1 Shuro Kaiser.
I think that's really a testament to how popular Dote is, and we'll be talking about that later as well.
Yeah.
Like all the people there, most of them were playing Dote. Those that weren't were all playing MLB or Tsukiyomi. There was like 1 Shuro Kaiser player, 1 Sephiroth player, and me, the only Coco player.
See, that's ballsy right there.
Yeah.
I want to hear what your thoughts on like all their play styles and that were like. Were they different deck building? Did they play differently?
They more or less built the decks exactly as you expect to. Like the Ashura Kaiser guy was just doing like the 4 Ashura Kaiser, 4 Azure Dragon. He was running crits instead of stands, otherwise it's just bog standard Ashura Kaiser deck. The MLB decks were all pretty much on par.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah. And the dope decks, they actually surprised me because like I didn't see a single Berserk Dragon the whole day.
Oh,
wow. Really?
No Berserk Dragons. They were just all playing 10k vanillas and Burning Horn Dragons.
Okay, so they're a bit more conservative with this.
More like 8-10k or around 7.
They pretty much seemed like they're just trying to hit good numbers against other cross runs.
Or like early rush with the wall, because it's like this wall of 10.
They didn't even drop early rush, they just attacked their Vanguard and second turn. That was it most of the time.
Oh wow.
It's like some of them, like the Hong Kong representative, he at least played some Heat Nails and Kanalas. I'm like,
that's good.
That can actually shoot me, that's mildly threatening. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that until the 4th game, because he was the one I didn't have a grade 1 against. When we had a rematch, he didn't have a grade 2. So we had a rematch, I didn't have a grade 3. So we had a rematch again, and we both misgraded, and then we saw solid, we're going to Akihabara.
That's honor right there.
As you do when you're in Japan. Now with the World Champions out of the way, there was actually one announcement during that sort of caught the entire world of Vanguard by surprise, especially the Japanese players. It was the introduction of limitations in certain clans, most commonly involving MLB, Tsukiyomi, and Dote, or Kagero, Royal Paladins, and Oracles. So And whoever does not know the limitations is that in each of those clans there are 3 cards, which are
It's only 2 for
It's
Kagero.
only 2 for cover.
And 2 for Rose.
two for
That's
Kagero.
3 for Rose, yeah.
Two cards for Kagero, which is Dote and Conroe. 3 for Royal Paladins, which is MLB, Winkle Brave, and Alfred.
King of Knights, not early.
Yeah, King of Knights. And for Oracles, it's Full Moon, Tsukiyomi, Ichibiyoshi, and Silent Tom.
Nicely done.
The ruling is from those cards specified, you can only have up to 2 copies of any of those 3 cards. So meaning you can only run either, say for Oracles, you can only either run 3 Tsukiyomi, 2 Tsukiyomis and 0 of Silent Tom and Ichibiyoshi, or 1 on 1 of each.
Yeah. So out of the entire list, you can only have 2 picks. So it's either 1 of 2 different or
2 of 1.
2 of 1.
So we'll start to talk with some of the players who actually play those. We'll start with, what was your name? Nephonic. How did it affect you? What do you think of the limitations, and what have you done so far to sort of work your way around through it?
My current deck wasn't hit at all, which is great and all, but the fact I didn't really use like a lot of those cards to like main, like I used them to tech. So it was quite frustrating that my choices were restricted and limited, because it just means I can't toolbox in cards, I can't tick around with things. So practically, I don't know, it just felt like they just restricted how I played.
Okay. And you RPG Caster with your old Tsukiyomi deck?
See, there, that's the thing. My main deck, which is now Goddess of the Sun, we'll talk about that later. It was hit. All I had to do was take out 1 Silent Tom though, because I was running 3 Silent Tom in the deck. Tsukiyomi, however, I guess that gave me a reason to take my deck apart because it was kind of just sitting there taking off the null guards for itself. I honestly think the deck is still usable. The main draw of the deck to me was the stacking, and that's still possible because you can run up to half moon and then use a different vanguard. Like if the hand power is a thing you like another grade 3, then there's Cookie to supplement that. Or if it's the 11k, there's Goddess of the Sun now, although the Limit Break is counterintuitive, it's still there to have a beefy defense. So you can still run it by the old strategy. It is a bit nerfed in that you can't search that anymore, but I think it's still usable. I'm dropping the deck not because of the restrictions at all. I'd actually technically kind of dropped it beforehand. If you want to know why, you can check VG Circle episode 1 when we talked about this guy owning me in regionals because my right chain was screwing me over. That's the reason I don't run Tsukiyomi.
We need that. You sure?
I'll get that later.
Yeah, that's how much he cares now.
Yeah, and then with Kagero, would anyone like to do?
Oh, this guy.
Well, it actually affected my Yaksha deck.
Oh no!
No! To be fair, because before I usually used to run 3 Dote in my deck, and it's actually not bad tech in early game because it puts so much pressure on my opponent until they go, oh my god, do I trust him? Does he have enough Dote in hand? Because me getting extra advantage in early game, because my whole deck was early game and mid game advantage. Basically, go. If I can actually bluff my opponent and drop an Olga early game, which lets me hit them harder in late game and actually push for game. Compared to now, where I have to actually go, I have to either sacrifice Conroe or keep the 2 Dote in deck. I can't lose Conroe. But the thing is, I can still work with it because I have other options still to work with the deck. But I guess the main problem people have to worry about, people upset about the Dote is basically a lot of the community younger player that invest so heavily in the Dote, the deck in itself, and I feel really sorry for the younger player because they actually invested a lot of money in the deck, and seeing it getting restricted in such a way that it actually basically locked out their main strategy. Yeah. It just feels like a top block for them though. But then Busho just want people to try new things.
Yeah. I mean, if the tournament scene was just 3 decks going at it year after year the game would kind of get stale.
It's newish anyway. You want to burn it off.
As someone mentioned, where I read something online, it happens with every single card game. Limitations will be put in. Not everyone will be happy. In this case, a lot of people weren't happy, but it happens. It has to happen in order to make the game keep evolving. Because if it doesn't, if we keep the original meta and it sort of hinders the evolution of the game at the same time.
Very much so, yeah.
So, you know, it's inevitable. I mean, it had to happen, it happened, and I suggest, you know, people just need to start moving on, even though they are highly affected by it.
Also, people should keep in mind that this is a lot better than Yu-Gi-Oh! Because technically your card's not banned, it's just restricted. So keep that in mind. So basically, if you really love the deck, just think outside the box and work with it. It's not, the card is not banned, so be thankful for that.
There was a quote I saw online, it was like, if someone puts a wall in front of you, what are you going to do? Are you just going to stand there and cry about it, or are you just going to walk around?
I'll break it.
I jump over it.
Yeah, that's
But
restriction.
see, breaking is still doing something about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's more so, will you do something about it, or will you not?
Yeah, we just sit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our thoughts on restrictions, I guess.
Yeah, that's whoever actually said that quote. I know you watch our videos, and you're gonna be commenting on our YouTube video when you hear that we quoted you. Yes, we quoted you. And now to one of the segments that a lot of people are waiting for. We're going to be talking about Set 9. All of these guys have something to say about Set 9, and I don't. So I'll see you guys later. Guys. Set 9. It's a terrible set.
No.
Oh, gloves, boots.
Fine.
Shut up.
Let's go right.
isn't even part of Set 9.
Let's go from this side to this side.
But okay, fine. I'll stay. So we'll start from
That side.
that side.
The glory.
Glory Maelstrom.
For the glory!
So, anybody want to say something about Glory Maelstrom?
I played the damn thing, so it might as well make. I find that like the Glory Maelstrom basically just another additional endgame ability you can have for your deck. Other than that, I just find that I really just want the original Maelstrom, because the original Maelstrom actually gave me a +1. And well, quite frankly, like sure, they can still null. They can use the Glory Maelstrom to shut off opponent's null guard, but being on 5 damage and staying alive at 5 damage is actually really hard in this game, especially in this meta. And as this guy says, like ultimate break cross ride is so fucking slow, and most of them actually found it to be so slow because it's like, think about it, when I already have Maelstrom as a vanguard, I don't really want to replace it because I need more rear guard because Alpha Force usually need a full board to actually be online. Like, Glory Maelstrom is like basically a fallback plan when you have a really, really bad hand or when your opponent actually smart enough to snipe off your board early game.
Quote, I reckon this card keeps falling down, but I reckon this card has like good potential, but I reckon it is made for like a different deck. Other than like,
it does feel like that.
It feels like it's
like
completely...
when that effect was released, who actually thought that was the real effect?
It sounds
I thought it was fake. It wasn't fitting at all.
Actually, it sounds more like an Oracle ability.
Yeah, it does. It really does. See, that's why I'm extra ticked off.
Maybe it's sort of a
it keeps falling down.
It's sort of like
it doesn't belong there, man. It wants to be an Oracle.
Alright.
Sort of one of the cards that sort of lets us know what Aqua Force is going to be up to. Common sense.
Oh, that's a good way.
Because like, every time you see the grade 1, grade 2 grade, look at the effect, and some of them are very repetitive, like the clone and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the swapping, yeah, cool, swapping, cool, Maelstrom, okay, cool, the number attack. You look at Maelstrom, complete new card, it's like, oh, okay, it's kind of a bit of a turn off, so it's just not, it's not based on the number of attacks, which is a good thing actually.
It's a good thing, yeah.
I find it really weird though. The Glory Maelstrom stops you from going to the grade 1s, yeah? So practically, which is like your 5k shields or the Nolka.
Yeah.
But like, what does Aqua Force like focus around? You dropping 5k shields, which is like your grade 1s and 2s. So practically, you're going to be dropping them anyway to the rear guards. So like, you're going to be left with 10k.
I guess the way of looking at it is, since the perfect guard is such a rudimentary part of the meta. I guess that's what it's trying to shut down.
Yeah.
It goes for glory.
But also, when they did the Maelstrom deck, Glory Maelstrom as well, it affects your trigger lineup.
Yeah.
It really does affect your trigger lineup. Because the original trigger lineup for that actually works well with your rear guard, right? But now you go, this seems so heavily in Vanguard. You have to invest, like, it's a heavy Vanguard build. So you go, I want to keep the original trigger lineup, or do I want to change it?
The fact if you want to run this, it takes up the space of Grade 3s as well.
Yeah.
So that's the key note right there for Aqua Force as well.
So at the moment, Glory Maelstrom, yay or nay?
Yay! Glory!
Right, so from us, we give Glory Maelstrom a somewhat mediocre yay.
Give it a 5 out of 10.
Next
I
card,
give it a normal R
next
rating.
card,
Turkey.
next card from
Double
set
R.
9 that we are reviewing is.
Platina Hazel, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Also known as Pretzel, everybody.
Okay, go. Stand up and
Yes,
do your
yes,
spiel.
yes, Santa Claus.
It's more like magic.
Celebrate Christmas, everybody. Celebrate Christmas. Not like any of these guys here.
Is that what Pretzel does? Celebrate Christmas.
Okay,
share your thoughts.
My thoughts on Platinum Hazel.
Yes.
It actually contradicts itself.
You reckon?
I reckon it did.
We mean, like,
The
explain.
cost of it is for a 3 counter blast and a full field. Wait, you don't need the full field.
You don't need the full field.
Limit
But-
5, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but being on 5
Ultimate.
Ultimate break, so.
Because of the counter blast so high, it limited all the gold power thing of getting full field. All the cards to make it get to full field.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Vivian, you don't want to waste your counter blast with a Vivian anymore. You don't want to use the gun more to get the bunny to get to the bunny to get the bunny.
Yeah.
So pretty much, it forces you to conserve your hand.
And also, it's shut off your +2.
Yeah, it does shut off your monster.
Yeah, so in the end, it just, okay, I save my hand till I get Platinum Hazel, then drop one. Yeah, see, I got a full field. But it's just from you saving, it's not from pluses. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Well, the flip side of that would be
It gives you options.
it's a soul saver for gold paladins.
Yeah.
That's I would say that's its best function.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to. If I was playing Platinum Hazel, I wouldn't be focusing on. Oh, I gotta have the 3 count blast all the time. No, you play how you want to play. You play how you want to play. And if it's there and you can end the game with it, or if you really need it, that's when you use it. And like honestly, I think that effect more than most of the other effects that came out in Set 9 is a be-all end-all game ender, unless they have a massive hand. And if they have 5 damage, they gotta take 1, I reckon.
See, that's what also, like, it's sort of also what I originally thought about cross rides, is that they're more an option rather than a deck build in terms of most of the cross rides. I suppose Dole is probably the one that wasn't, and it could be used as its own deck build, but now that it's limited, it becomes an option again.
They're really nice just to put in your decks. Like, I think people really focus on getting that plus 2k too much.
Yeah.
I see it just like, it's a tech. It's an amazing tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the Platinum Hazel, it does give gold paladin another option. You know, the funny thing about when you notice about gold paladin, most of the units are 10k in Vanguard, right?
Yeah.
Now, what does this matter? Like, what all the cross-ride deck has in common? All the rear guards need 20k. Platinum Hazel gives you a defensive option against the 20k columns and rear guard.
Yes.
That's actually very annoying.
Yes.
Because it eats your resource a lot.
Next up, we have a plan that's making a big return with Shiryuki. RPG Caster, would you like to tell us about?
Well, to be fair, the triple R for the set for that part is I hear a weird elephant in the background.
I thought I heard left
Unacceptable.
Guys, what did I tell you about not feeling the animals?
This isn't the Great Nation University, calm down. And that was a really bad joke. Anyway, Worker has made a really big comeback. And I played around with the clan a bit when it was released in Set 5. Honestly, I felt it lacked a little bit of substance, but it's still workable. I think out of, and I don't know if anyone agrees with me, out of the entire sets, probably Morikuma and Narukami probably got the best of this one.
Yeah.
They really did. So the card I'm maining now is Shiryuki, so it's a better Mandala Lord. In some ways it is. Like Mandala Lord was only a minus 10k, but then its benefits is it could 1 be searched and 2,
You don't need limit break.
you don't need limit break. But it was only 10k shield. Shiryuki is 20k shield, basically. You Persona Blast, limit break, and it takes 20,000 power from the unit attacking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it basically, you know, makes it 20. But you have to be in limit break, and there's no search function for it. I don't know, I personally like this better, but I do see Mandala as a really good option as well. Yes.
I like the concept of the whole defensive nerfing.
Yeah.
Because you know we saw last set we saw offensive nerfing for Zeal,
Yeah.
and now we see defensive nerfing. Do you think we're gonna see a lot more similar cards?
Probably not. It's
There
still
won't be a lot. There might be like 1 or 2 next year maybe. But I don't see this being a theme that is heavily, you know, besides that, I'm actually running Shiryuki Pure now. I was running Mangatsu Storm. Now that ride chain's amazing. It's basically every time you ride, instead of drawing a card, or like you said with Illuminal Dragon, you know, getting 11k supporters in the back row or something. This one lets you clone whatever you just wrote. So if you write the grade 2, you call that grade 2. But they go back to the deck at the end of the turn. This is a really good rush option. It's probably, I actually like it. Zeal was good, but I actually think this is easier to rush with. Because Zeal requires you to have other units in hand. This one produces them for you. The right chain's really good. The limit break does the same thing. You know, it clones the grade 3, pulls out 2 grade 3s from the deck, and gives power. But the problem with it is it doesn't do anything different. And the real reason I reverted back to Shiryuki Pure instead of using Shiryuki as a backup for Mangatsu is Mangatsu's a ride chain. and you know how I feel about ride chains, right? No, my main problem is ride chains are okay. In most decks when they fail, it's okay. If they fail in Gold Paladins, you can hold up, right? Yeah? If they fail in Illuminal Dragon, I can hold up because Trailing Rose is good. You know, there are billions of other examples I can give. In Murakumo, they don't have a lot going for them outside the main cards, I don't think. Their grade 2 lineup is really terrible. Not like a lot of it is clones and vanillas.
Yeah.
So they don't have much going for them in the grade 2s.
They do
Like,
have one thing going.
They do have one or two things going, but even you admitted that you would have liked to be able to run more 10k vanillas in your
Pretty
grade
much.
2 run because
Because
but Shiryuki has the
leadership
skill
skill.
stopping you from doing
Yeah.
that. So that means if you're missing the ride chain, you're missing what your deck does. And in the case of Murakumo, they don't have a very strong fallback like the other ones do. So that's the reason why I reverted.
One of the most fragile chain modes.
But one of the more
More
powerful
powerful
as well. So it's a good trade-off. It really depends on what you're going for. The other Murakumo card was Tomo. We don't have to talk about that. And Valkyrie's raging as I expected. No. Tomo was the typical limit break 4 games 5k when it attacks the Vanguard. But it has probably one of the most like useful skills.
Yeah.
Like instead of relying on ride, it's just there.
Yeah.
Where you can blast 1, select a grade 2 or higher, and copy it from the deck, and then the copy goes back to the deck. Again, following the Murakumo concept, I think it's really good. I'm really happy that Murakumo finally has like what they do cemented in stone, because they were all over the place in set 5. We didn't know which direction they were focusing on. Now we have more of a solid.
Moving on to the next card, which is oddly enough not actually part of set 9.
We can just skip
I don't
that
even
one.
know. I don't even know why it's on
feels so
there.
We can just skip that one.
Shattered.
No, guys, give the phonic a chance.
Find that.
Please talk about it.
What do you when you brag about your awesome deck and its win streak?
it kills everyone.
Okay, I was struggling with a bit with miswriting.
Hey, just
Okay,
Sugarcoat.
No, it's really, really, really amazing.
Please tell.
No, it just, I don't know, it filled in a slot in my deck that Alfred just couldn't quite fit into.
Alfred wasn't big enough.
go on.
And practically, I don't know, Soul Saver just sometimes wasn't getting there for a finisher.
He wasn't big enough either.
So I didn't really, I was just thinking about it, or maybe this deck isn't meant to just finish a game, maybe it's just meant to set me up for a win. So I'm just like, oh, okay, if Alfred doesn't set me up enough, I'll take out Alfred. If Soul Saver doesn't set me up, I'll take out Soul Saver. So I'm now left with two to three cards. So I put back in the Gancelot, and then I put in 2 Excaliburs, and sure enough, oh, they work together. Gancelot searches my Blast Blade. Oh, I need Blast Blade for the Excalibur. But yeah, just switching between the two for counter blasting for pressure, and then for counter blasting to put me in just a game winning position.
wiping your opponent's board is A-okay, apparently.
Cheating!
Okay. No, like, it's really destructive when it goes off. And then, like, you watch your opponent, if you, like, because I'm usually on 5 damage, and when I go off with Excalibate, and you still have 2 damage, so your opponent's like, oh, I'll guard a rear guard, and I'll guard my vanguard. Okay, right, blast away. Counter blast 2, snipe off your last rear guard.
Exactly, there's no point guarding you.
Yeah, it's...
Unless you have Shiryu!
Whoa, no, but, like,
That's not enough.
obviously there was a really big issue where, but even though it's a grade 3, you cannot ride it normally.
Yeah.
So you need to have another grade 3. So I was having a little bit of an issue misriding. So I just added in the 1 MLB tech, which allowed me to search for my grade 3 because I did have the Pond Guard to search for my Soul Saver to help me protect against misriding.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, this is the other issue. So slotted him in over 1 GAN slot. So now I only have played with the 1 GAN slot, 1 MLB, and such, but I'm not going to give you a list.
This actually brings up a good question about the limitations. Because the limitations is clan specific.
Yes.
So what happens when you run a hybrid?
You're still limited.
It's still limited.
It's 2 from that clan.
No, it's 2 from the
The
entire
entire list.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't run, I don't know why you would, a Silent Tom and 2 Conros because...
It's 3.
Yeah, it's 3.
Oh, it's
I can't run 3 Conros anymore. But yeah.
Well, like, at least, you know, some people who may have had that question.
And to you who doubt Excalibate's power, tell me your win streaking.
Please tell.
Oh, I've only lost once, and that was against RPG caster. Yeah,
Show off.
You asked me.
No, it's ridiculous, and that was...
That's what I'm
That was...
saying he's a show off.
I'm gonna say...
He's the one making
yeah,
you say it.
no, that game against his Excalibate is the best game ever.
Right down to
Like I've ever had, ever.
Nice there.
That was, yeah. Versus a good Excalibate deck is good. It's fun. But I give this card the biggest yay in demand.
Yay.
Yeah! Shout out, guys. Shout out.
SP!
Yeah.
What?
He said
Serve
that's
it SP.
Yeah.
I don't think it comes in SP.
No, next year. It'll come in next year.
Next year it comes in
Fucking
triple R.
Maelstrom.
Next year it comes in triple R.
Foil.
Yeah, there's not SP.
Aww. Okay, before we descend into madness, let's move on to something that Vaulting can talk about, which is the other really heavily supported clan.
Narukami.
Very blessed Naruto.
Oh. Yeah. The blood is just so good.
That's the fun
I spent a lot of time practicing with it. In the end, there's only a few cards in the set you're actually going to end up using, which will mostly be the Blood and the Dust Plasma Dragons. Like, the new stand trigger is probably not a very good idea. And the unsealing thing is probably generally inferior to the grade 0 unsealer you got in set 8. But what the Blood does for the deck is just amazing. Because you're already going to be rerunning grade 3s every time you draw them set up Battle Gear to get your plus 10,000 power. So naturally, you're going to think, oh, okay, so if I rewrite this, I get an extra 2,000 power my Vanguard, and my rearguards gain 10,000 power. And if I happen to draw more, I rewrite them again, and I get more soul blasting effects. So by this point, you probably started running Rising Phoenixes as well, just for sheer card advantage. The only problem I see with the Blood is that he is one of those cross-ride ultimate breaks, which are incredibly slow. Because start of the game, you'll probably try and ride Vermilion Kaiser. That's at least no rank 4. You can do that off nice and early, that works fine. If you cross-ride too early for the defense, you're going to be stuck waiting until you get 5 damage before you can do your thing. At that point, it's going to be really late game. Thankfully, the Blood is probably the only ultimate break that you can safely use without wasting it when your opponent's at 4 damage. Because if Platinum Hazel uses against someone with 4 damage, they'll take 1 hit, null another, and then Manual Guard wise, probably not that many resource slots. Drawing Maelstrom, unless they're running a lot of crits, you can probably safely take it if you're at 4. But the Blood, if you don't guard it, will kill you.
Yeah.
And he'll take your field with you.
Even that free damage, it's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though they null it.
Yeah. Even if you should try to Shiryuki it like he did before.
Yeah, I tried Shiryuki and added a guard just so my Vanguard wouldn't get screwed. One trigger gets through, wipes my field. It's like, it's still really good.
Didn't hit him with the 3 critical that could have gained because you put that 1 extra guard down, but nuking his board and making him drop his handed guard was probably worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, set 9 hasn't disappointed yet. Let's move on to...
She's something that will disappoint.
And the funny thing is, I'm sure everybody watching this will disagree, but
Yeah.
The Chrome Jailer Dragon's not exactly in our good books.
Yeah, no.
It's
It's crying because of. I wanted to be Duke Crossroads.
Everyone remember that?
I wanted to job.
Everybody wanted to do cross ride, but it didn't happen.
Thankfully.
Should I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Chrome Jailer Dragon convicting underroom horror. It's really good card. Let's just say that. It's a really good card, but yeah, the part is disappointing.
That's right, you didn't say this. You'll see this later in your review, but basically what Odin's trying to say is the card as itself appears pretty good, but as I've learned trying to run a pure Amaterasu deck since the beginning of Vanguard, one card can't pull an entire deck if it doesn't work together. Chrome Jailer doesn't have anything that works extremely well with it. Duke, nah, it's a stretch. Bunny's kind of, but the fact that it's a Persona Blast, also taking up Counter Blast, by the way.
Yeah.
And you're playing a heavy counter.
And you're playing a Counter Blast heavy clan. It's kind of iffy.
And when you mix it with Duke, it's pretty much Duke and Chrome fighting for the sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're fighting for the cards that are on the field. Not only that, but Volzer also mentioned that it's one of those infamous 10k Vanguards that can't boost itself, meaning you don't have a vanilla behind it. Crossrides will be thanking you.
It's also not often people couldn't judge. It's still 10k.
That's what we just
Yeah,
said.
That's what we just said.
I know, but it's annoying as well when you get hit by 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love polar bears.
Oh my god, I knocked him down twice. Alright.
Yes,
Alright,
talk about
moving on to the
Polar bear.
yes, the great university.
Thank you.
We have Professor Asian Danny.
We haven't seen
He's
it for a while.
Professor Asian Danny with us.
Thank you.
After a long hiatus of not being on the show.
I keep knocking this card
Due
down, I swear.
to an extreme case of the jitters.
This guy's nervous on camera, but he's fine now.
But yeah, please guide us through what you think
please
of
leave
the
it.
polar bear.
Well, polar bears are amazing. That's a start. This card in particular, it's... What the hell are you doing?
Hey, we've done all those.
Okay, just go.
Do you want to take
No,
my
no, no,
one?
no.
Go for my one?
Go.
Okay. I find this this card that's so unique in ways like it's a boosting unit like every other Great Nature unit, but at the same time it's also a unit that can actually another unit that can stand another unit like Golden Rutile, and I'll say it's between Rutile and Maelstrom in a way though.
Maelstrom.
No.
Naval gaze.
Naval Gaze, sorry.
Yeah, but the good thing about this one is you don't have to hit.
Yeah.
Skill.
Yeah.
It's just like whenever I want it, I have it.
It's like,
It's so dumb.
it's like I want to totally set my card.
So you know there's on hit limit breakers that Volta hates. It's not one of them.
It's not just a unit that can actually stand a unit, but it's also a heavy hitter as well.
Yeah.
It's a big hitter that can stand a unit and give that power as
Yeah.
well. And especially when Great Nature addresses by pumping units. So ideally you're supposed to pump the unit here, then swing with the unit already pumped already, then you attack with Polaris, then you stand and you pump it again.
Yeah.
So that's
You've done that to me. You have freaking pulled the the binocular onto a 10k vanilla essentially. Attacked with that 10k vanilla, boosted, and then used Polaris to stand it and swung on my cross-ridden Albatross for 18k without triggers.
Yep.
It's a good card.
That's how we live. And then it's like, oh look, I played Dark Bullet, and it's like it's gonna return and go to plus.
And then you draw 2 to 3 cards after that. So it's 4 attacks.
The Oab as well.
Yeah, so key numbers there. It's good against Forest Rides as well. It does struggle a little bit though when it comes to your own rear guards, but the card itself, it's in plus 3k, no worries, you know.
And then of course you got more Bison support through the animal,
The chicken.
remnants.
What do we call it? The KFC combo?
The KFC, wait, where are they?
The KFC combo.
Okay.
Penned by TV.
What do you think of that combo with?
Oh well,
The other
I'm pretty
one
sure.
was amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's completely aware of it, but deck fitting capabilities is just crazy.
Yeah. Just to avoid the comments that ask what is the KFC combo, you can look at it yourself. I'll put, I guess, a link to a video of the live stream where Dr. O explains it to everyone.
Yeah.
Probably have to look around like, I don't know, 20 something minutes.
Extra crispy content.
Stand up, my Aya. Yeah, he appeared out of nowhere, so now he's in the video with us.
You teleport.
Moving on.
Dude!
Moving on.
I have moved out soul.
Dude!
Oh, see? Moving on.
Okay, fine. I'll talk about oracles before this guy skips over it. I'm happy with the support. Battle Sisters got decent boosts. Cookie and Cream were enough. Like, just those two cards on the road gave the Battle Sisters so many options. If you didn't like the Battle Sister heavy deck, i.e. running a lot of Battle Sisters, you could go Cookie Cream main and not worry about it. Which is good, because it allowed the Battle Sister deck to run stuff like Germany and Silent Top if you really wanted to. But then if you take my path, it's more Battle Sisters to add to the deck, which is good. A good solid backup for Fromage, since you don't really like to run Riot Souffle. It's a solid unit. And I honestly think that since Cookie is a, attack Vanguard, gains 5k limit breaker, and it gives us a +1 on Riot, it will probably be a good stable for the future of the game. Yeah. Moving on to Amaterasu. I don't know.
You know,
I was a bit conflicted with the card. I liked it.
the very first.
Says
then
the person who probably owns the only SP copy of the card
Yeah.
Quiet in this community.
in Australia.
In this community.
But
Anyway.
I'm gonna go with Australia.
Anyway, the card is good, but my main gripes with it was that it was an on-hit limit breaker, and me and Volta feel very strongly against that. However, actually, and on top of that, the deck felt like a vanilla deck. Odin, Asian Danny, TB, Volta, they were there for my early stages of testing it before it came out. It was just a vanilla beat stick deck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But as it kind of went on and we saw the support when it finally came out, I found that the deck was, I put it together and it was working. And it was strange to me because I put it together, was playing it, was working. I didn't know how. It even managed to get a win off of, it was a best of 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so first game, he misrode. Second game, I misrode. And then third game was amazing. I managed to scrape it through. So I was just like, okay, if it can do that, since it was an even game and it wasn't, trigger crapping everywhere, I was like, the deck works. I didn't know why. It wasn't until I was talking to Afro Mike, he used to hang around here, I realized this deck's strength. Now, most decks like Excalpade and I guess Narukami and to an extent Chrome Jailer, it's all about what you're doing, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You're kind of setting up for your big plays, trying to knock down your opponent using your own advantage, yeah? The way I've seen Amaterasu is because of all the options that Oracles have as a whole, and because of the specific cards that support Amaterasu, on top of the fact that Amaterasu herself is, the original one checks the top, allowing you more versatility and knowing what the top card of the deck is, on top of the fact that the cross ride can search for a card, on top of the fact that it's a cross ride, all these different things, it means that Amaterasu has a lot of options, but when you look at it at face value, it doesn't look like that does much. But if you put it into the hands of a player that knows all the other matchups, it becomes a really reactive deck. It's one of those decks that you play and you're less worried about what your deck is doing and more worried about how you're going to deal with what your opponent's throwing in your face. So if you guys are having trouble with Amaterasu, that's a little bit of advice. I guess try not to be too fancy Amaterasu. In fact, Misaki as a character in the anime is not a flashy character. She's very practical, and that's what this deck kind of represents.
Yeah. I have no idea what we were talking about now.
Hell
Hell
no.
no.
But apparently Walter turned Asian, so now we're talking about
Volta left, I have replaced.
So now we're talking about payloads.
Okay. Helmet's nice.
Thank you very much. Moving on.
So what are we talking about?
What's the new?
I don't know this. Okay, the new stuff, right? Yep. Alright. Might as well start with Farah. Farah, like most, not most, but a lot of cards that do come out first, a lot of people kind of like just brush over it, say it's, not that great, whatever.
Let me do
Farah
Farah's kind of one of those for a lot of the people around here. Probably still is to some. Even to me, at first I was like, this is pretty good. Then I thought, it's not that good. But then it was like, no, it's actually probably that good. So after playtesting it, I found out I just cannot play it. Now the reason is, right, back when Palomins were, you know, still in its infancy and we had things like Mistress Hurricane, a lot of people were still like, Mistress Hurricane, not sure. I was one of those guys that didn't really give it much thought until Shannon here played a bit. Realized.
Cast. You mean RPG cast?
Everyone knows my name already.
RPG Shannon.
RPG Shannon, yes! No, so he gave it a shot, made it work, realized that it could work. I was like, okay, cool, let's see if I can do it. So I gave it a go, didn't work out too well.
Just side note, I only made the Farah deck to prove it's not crap cards.
So when Farah came out, I was like, fine, I'll do a Farah deck, just to revisit basically. Gave it a go, realized that I still can't play it that well. I don't know, it's a good card, I know. It's like the potential's there and everything. It's just that my playstyle just doesn't seem to fit well with it. Either that or it just doesn't behave when I'm testing it.
Okay, well basically the way that I see Farah is, it is Palomon's Metatron.
Yeah, pretty much. It allows you to take out stuff and so it gives it power, allows you to push, you know, maybe for that one critical turn that you need it. Plus you get a, you know, change a grade 3 into a supporter, into an interceptor, or to a more useful grade 3 that you might have in your deck. So it's very similar to how Mistress Hurricane pretty much works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Mistress Hurricane version 2.0.
Also, it's an 11k, so
That is
hello
like,
Turquoise Beast.
for once in Palomins, we get an 11k base. Now, Mistress Hurricane gets an 11k when you have 8, you know, in Soul.
Yeah, I guess
so it's like a bonus, really. Some people kind of like try and play it to get that 8 Soul all the time, and it doesn't really work that well because then you just start to, you know, your deck construction just revolves around getting that 11k.
Or Lacre, that's what it looks like it's spelled.
Anyway, the Japanese name, Raku. Him and the cookie, the cream clone, which is magical partner. Just like Cookie and Cream worked quite well with, you know, Battle Sister deck or even just a Oracle deck, right? Same thing applies with Raku and magical partner. Great. It's great overall in either Vanguard or even Rearguard. It gives your power moves that extra needed, you know, power boost that we always needed. Now, some people say, you know, you Soul Blast, you get rid of Soul, so that might be a bad thing. Yes, that is a bad thing sometimes, but that's why you need to be smart about what you're going to Soul Blast and what, how, and when you're going to Soul Charge. So it requires a bit more play, but it works amazingly well with Farah, as I've seen already. I mean, Farah, you know, Persona Blast, you get more Soul, gives you more fuel for the Raku and Magical Partner. Now with Magical Partner, right, you may think you get it, you ride it, and then you're lost it forever. Most things, like anyway in deck, most other decks I mean. But with Palomins, you'd be able to, you know, do all this switchy crap, get it out. You might not even need it for like Vanguard, you might put it in a Rearguard, you know, put a Raku into the Rearguard. You got all these utilities from, you know, like Purple Trapezes, you got all these other things like Midnight Bunny and even Mirror Demon, Alice, you got Farah to do it, you got Raku that can do it as well. It's just, you got a toolbox full of anything that you want to do and you can bring them out. So yeah, it's a really good addition to Palomins. Now the other one is Fire Juggles and stuff. All the support, right?
Yeah.
Now, with all the support, anyway, with all the support, it's most of the support are pretty much great support. I mean, Fire Juggler works well with Sarah, amazingly well with Sarah actually, and you got other things that, you know, can utilize that, you know, drive check at grade 3. So yeah, Palomins really happy with the recent support they've got now. So you're my bitch.
Hey, look, it's Anima.
Okay, Anima, speak loud.
So what's nice about Metatron?
You gotta speak like Metatron.
Yes, Metatron is up here.
It is not broken.
Well, Metatron is basically a toolbox there. Like, it's not really a special card in itself. I'll say it actually matters the most about what kind of deck you build around it. You can adapt to players' playstyles really easily, depending on how you want to play. Do you want more power, do you want more utility, or things like that? You can change that all through like however you want. It's a really versatile deck for any player basically.
Yeah.
Question. How do you find it compared to Championship?
Yeah, that's.
Oh no, well, it's a lot more flexible, honestly. Like, I like it so much more. Championship, because it's on tap, you can swap a card. This one's more on command, you can swap a card. Like, it gets really annoying sometimes when you're playing Championship, you put a card in and you take another card out and you're like, okay, I'm set for the next turn, but then you realize, oh, maybe I actually needed that card, sort of thing. Like, you can't really think about it until after you drive check.
Yeah.
Like, it gives you a lot more choice, really, I'd say.
I would say that, and I'm surprised she doesn't have the leader skill.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the moment, it's like Metatron is the apex of what Angel Feathers are, you know. Royal Paladins were the toolbox of the deck, I guess. Ramblers were the toolbox of the drop zone. Bind zone.
No, I'm gonna say
drop zone.
I'm gonna say Dividing Insurance.
No, and then you had, we already talked about Pale Moon, was like the toolbox of the Assault. Like, we finally have something that truly represents what the toolbox of Damage Zone is, because what you said, Shamshell gave you like that versatility, but you couldn't do anything with what you got until the next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, giving it a yay or nay?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
Did anyone give a name for it?
No, we gave
Yes, this one was a.
Alright, there's still some notable cards that weren't announced or talked about in this episode, like the spirits, the two spirits. Because you know they've moved on, we really can't talk about it without disrespecting them.
What?
Two spirits. It's a joke, jeez. But hopefully we'll come out with some new stuff starting next year. So this is the final episode of the VG Circle for 2012. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Thank you for watching our videos and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you for supporting your local card stores as well. Just like we support our own Neko cards. Please keep supporting your local stores so that the game continues to grow.
And we will try and do something about that competition.
Yes, the competition happened years ago. We could possibly take a look at getting more prizes and just compiling it all together so we have more winners for next year. Yeah, don't worry. As well,
blue deck is still there.
Yeah.
I've got sleeves.
So a big thank you again to local card stores everywhere, to our sponsor vanguardsingle.com.au. Thank you guys so much for helping us out with our videos and giving us locations. Thank you, a special shout out to the people of Ballarat, the people we met there and we taught how to play, and you know, you guys were awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do it for other places in Victoria starting next year. Anyone else to thank? Personal thank you to the distributors of Vanguard for Australia, the owners of our card store Wen and Ben. So thank you all guys, and then please keep supporting us. Check us out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/the VGcasters.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
Don't know our address.
Link in the description.
Yep. Also, our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/RPGcaster. Link us to your friends who want to play the game.
You're going to be watching it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna plug everything?
That's the point. Please check out my personal blog.
That's where it ends.
So for probably the second last time before the end of 2012, we are VGcasters. I'm Amcam, your host, and this is your final VG Circle for the year. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy I don't give a crap about holidays for all you atheists as well.
Season's greetings.
Ramadan.
They don't like reading about seasons.
Season's greetings.
They're atheists. So thank you, and we'll see you guys next year. Guys, all together, we sing 1, 2, 3. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Hey, thanks for watching. I know the video was a little bit long, but I really appreciate you taking the time. So, if you haven't had enough of us, we got our other VG circles. Click here on the left. And I'm working on the year in review at the moment, which will be up in a few days. So if you want to check that out, click on the right. You'll be able to click on that once your Christmas present's ready. So yeah, look forward to that. Come on, click it. Just click it.